Well, this is a good time.
Oh, boy. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, Stephanie.
How you doing?
I'm well.
Bullshit. You're okay.
I call bullshit. Actually, I have a little bit of a broken foot.
You sure do.
Yeah.
You little wobble stiltskin over here.
Oh, man. And I think my other butt cheek muscle on the other side from where I broke my foot, I think I pulled it.
Yeah.
Pulled a muscle up
You're
in
just
there.
a hot mess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're rocking a killer boot.
Literally rocking. Yes. But I'm uneven because I'm higher with the boot than I am with my foot. So I wobble.
Yeah. You're a little off balance.
Yeah, a little bit. And when I have some...
Yeah. So you can say that you wobble, but when I call you wobbles, you don't like it. I don't get it. You're giving me mixed signals here.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's a big difference between me wobbling and you calling me wobbles.
I don't see the difference.
No? No, not at all?
No.
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 Okay.
I might still do it.
Yeah.
I evolved to wobble stiltskin. I like that too. We'll just see what mood I'm in.
It just keeps evolving. It's like I'm one of your animals now.
Yeah, because they all have like 12 names.
They really do.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know why. They both just look up.
Yeah,
when
they
you say
respond
something.
to it. They're like, oh, they must be me. Okay, here I am.
Oh my God. Is
That'll
that
be
my
you
new-
now.
Wobble still skin. Thanks, Steph.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
It's pretty cute, I think.
Oh my God. Because it's not you.
You didn't make up any names for me when I broke my finger. That sounds like a loss on your part. Missed opportunity.
You know what? I'm just going to wait for it to happen again.
I'm sure it will.
I know it will.
I'm messy. Yeah.
I'm messy. You need to not put your fingers in places where they shouldn't be.
Yeah. And you need to step off a curb properly.
Wow. That was like a knife to the chest. Ugh.
Am I wrong?
It's true. I didn't really know how that happened, really.
Oh, it's okay.
Is it?
It's okay.
I broke my fucking foot in 2 places. But you know what? I didn't dump my lunch.
No. And okay, when you told me about it, the first thing I asked you was if you salvaged your lunch. And some people thought that was an inappropriate question. But here was my thought process. I was thinking like, wow, that really does fucking suck to break your foot. Like that's a huge bummer. But on top of it, if you like lost your entire lunch, that would be devastating.
Yeah.
Like, your whole day is ruined at that point.
No, I don't even think it hit the ground. I think I held it. I think
Priorities.
yeah.
Well done.
Subconsciously, I was like,
Must
food.
eat.
That's probably why I broke my foot. It's because I was trying to salvage my food. Judge me all you want.
Is your weekend okay besides your foot incident?
It was.
Good.
It was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was so weekend before school starts for the kids. So we just kind of chilled, relaxed.
That's good.
Yeah, just kind of hung out.
Yeah.
Because
Last days of summer. Why not?
I mean, it's not like I had summer. So
Well, no.
no.
Mm-mm.
Now, that being said,
Uh-huh.
they do get on the bus really early, so I get the morning to myself.
That's exciting.
I could probably like sit down and like watch a TV show for 30 minutes.
What?
I mean, who knows? Options.
Wow.
Options.
This is a whole new world for you.
I know. How great is this?
You're like, can they go to school year round?
I know. I'm still going to be late to work. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? I got no excuse today. Here I am.
I'm just late.
Yep.
But I'm not going to tell anybody else other than you because,
Yeah, guys, don't tell anyone.
I mean,
this is our little secret.
I can still blame it on my children.
Sure. Yeah.
'Cause who's going to know?
No one.
Except
I'm
the
not gonna tell 'em.
entire world right
And I'll
now.
be like, thanks for bringing me coffee too on your way.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was your weekend? Was it good?
My weekend was good. I went on a little lunch date with my husband today.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and then on our way home, we got ice cream because everybody knows that Sundays are for Sundays. So
But
everybody knows that, right? That's what Sundays are for.
I mean,
So yeah, we got some ice cream and we just kind of chilled. So it was a good day.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really all about the ice cream
You know it.
and dates.
I love ice cream. So
If you don't like ice cream,
shame on you.
we can't be friends. We're not going to be friends.
And also, like, why do you not like it? Are you okay?
it's cold and refreshing.
It's fantastic. What if you're lactose intolerant? But they make ice cream now for people who are lactose intolerant,
I
right?
know. But you know what? I mean, even with people who are lactose intolerant, I mean, you just got to weigh your options. Are you willing to have a stomach ache and eat ice cream.
My brother's best friend is like that.
Uh-huh.
He is very lactose intolerant, but he loves milkshakes.
Uh-huh.
And he will order milkshakes and feel like garbage and the entire night. And my brother's like, why do you do it? He's like, I love ice cream.
I
And
get
he'll
it.
just feel like total shit the whole night. And he's like, worth it. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I think
Ice cream's pretty great.
You gotta, you know your body.
Yeah.
And you know what your body is going to do in these circumstances.
That may have been like too much milkshake, but I get wanting some of it. Yes.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop eating a milkshake?
No.
Okay then.
No.
There's-
I devour it.
So maybe just start with a small. Don't get an extra large.
Yes. Limit yourself in that, in the size you order.
So what are we drinking?
A little hodgepodge today. I have the the seltzers, the vodka seltzers.
The seltzer.
I have the black cherry one, the high noon today.
Uh-huh.
And you have a Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Chardonnay?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. You just poured it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I saw a small
It was
bottle
a little-
come out of your
It was a
refrigerator.
little mini bottle, yeah.
Well, it was lovely because it's gone. So there's that.
You liked it. Yay.
I did it.
What did we watch this week?
We watched The Grudge.
We sure did.
Yes, we did.
What were your feelings on it?
It was okay. So it was kind of predictable for me.
Sure.
Now I have already seen this.
Okay.
movie,
So that helps with the predictability of it. Yeah.
But I mean, in general.
Yeah.
When I watched it the first time,
Uh-huh.
it was predictable.
Yeah, things always make sense. And I feel like the more scary movies we're watching, it becomes easy to see the ending on a lot of them.
Yeah.
When you're like, okay.
Or you see it like a scene and you're like, I know something's going to pop out at me.
Uh-huh.
Something is going to be behind somebody. Somebody's going to come out of the shadow.
Yep,
Something.
or like that's coming back later or something like that.
Correct.
Yeah. Which happened a lot in this movie for sure.
Yeah.
I had also seen this movie before, which I think is surprising for most people. And I'll tell you why. Before we started doing this podcast, I would refuse to watch scary movies. Refuse to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only ones that I could like semi sit through and not be like terrified of later, as we know, are the paranormal ones.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband would trickery me. If I was like in the kitchen, like cleaning something or doing dishes, he would like put it on TV, which I could see from the kitchen. So I would get like a little invested in like the characters in the movie. And now I'm stuck watching this fucking movie, right? So The Grudge was one of these movies that I got trickeried into watching. So I had seen it before, but watching it again, I still jumped at certain times and I got so mad at myself because I wasn't scared by it, but pop-outs happened and I'm like, oh, damn it.
Yeah. Well, your husband was telling me before we started this that he was like, yeah, I was up in my office and I could hear her downstairs still shouting at the TV and she'd already seen this movie.
I can't change who I am.
You know what? I bet you if you watch it again right now, it'd still happen
I would
to you.
still yell at
Yeah.
it, yeah, because it would still make me angry at parts. Like, just listen to me. Would you like to hear the IMDb synopsis for it?
Okay.
Okay. An American nurse living and working in Tokyo is exposed to a mysterious supernatural curse, one that locks a person in a powerful rage before claiming their life and spreading to another victim. I feel like I had a lot of passion in that this time.
You really did.
Right?
I don't think that's how they meant it to be read.
Oh.
You just put a lot of more oomph
Do
in
you
it.
think I won't get hired by IMDb?
You could do the IMDb synopsises.
They don't want my honesty, I don't think. They're not going to like it. My synopsis for this would just be like, there's this weird mouthy noise ghost person. Like, she just makes weird mouth noises the entire movie.
Yeah.
And she needs a hairbrush. And she just like crawls downstairs and creeps people out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no conclusion.
Yeah.
That's my synopsis.
Wow.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
It's accurate.
I think I like the other one better. I think the IMDb writer for this movie did a pretty good job compared to what you just did.
Okay, whatever. We can have our own opinions. It's fine.
Okay. I'm right.
All right. Before we hop in, a couple of reminders, of course. Tipsypod.com is where you should be living. That should be the other place you live. You have your home, and then you also
Have
live
our
at Tipsy
website.
Pod. Yeah. You got two residents. Bunch of things you can do on our website. You can find ways to support our show through our merch tab. If you want to buy some Tipsy Pod swag, you can buy us a glass of wine at buymeacoffee.com. $3 for a glass of wine. It supports our show, and $1 of that $3 goes to the puppies and the kitties for the Humane Society.
I love that.
It's fantastic.
I know.
So check that out. We also have a Patreon. We're going to talk about it again because we love it and we're excited about it.
I know.
It's fantastic. We have 3 different tiers, so you can pick the one that works best for you. And if you join the Patreon, you get bonus content. You get episodes a day earlier than anybody else does.
Yeah.
And you get ad-free episodes.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to do that?
I don't know.
I want to do that.
Okay, let's do it. So check out our Patreon on our website. You can get to our Patreon on there too. Mm-hmm. Should we hop on in?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, so we start with some on-screen text, and it says, when someone dies in the grip of a powerful rage, a curse is born. The curse gathers in that place of death. Those who encounter it will be consumed by its fury. I love that. Thank you for joining me.
I like the way you were reading it too. It was great.
I felt like it needed a little emphasis.
It was good.
In the syllables. Sorry, I had to. Okay. All right. So we are at this guy's apartment. His name is Peter.
His name is Bill Pullman.
Okay. So he walks out to his balcony of his apartment, starts looking around at this beautiful river view below, but he doesn't look so happy.
No.
His girlfriend is like waking up behind him in bed, and she's like, it's morning. Gosh, I need some coffee. She didn't say that, but I felt
no, but her makeup looks great. Her hair looks perfect, and she's just waking up.
I do not look like that. I do not look like that now.
No.
Like,
me neither.
So there's that. So she asks how he is, and he's got this real ominous look on his face as he like turns to her.
He's not saying a word.
No. When he turns back and he looks over the railing again, he just throws himself over the side of it.
Yes.
Splats on the ground.
Yeah. Just kills himself.
Okay.
He did.
That's a one way to start the movie.
Yeah. And she goes running over to the balcony and looks down, and he's all broken on the floor.
He's like one of those white sketched murder scene things. That's what that looked like.
His limbs are bending in ways they should not.
No. Maria looks panicked. So she goes over to the railing. She looks over his wife. She's in total shock. But everybody grieves differently.
Sure.
Everybody goes in shock and, does things differently.
Sure.
She didn't have really a reaction. She had like a shock look on her face.
Yeah, maybe because she's just more of like, what the fuck just happened?
That's true. But the townspeople gather around.
Yeah.
So they want to see what's going on.
I'm thinking too, like, it's got to be really hard for her to explain that she didn't push him. Because if anybody at street level is looking up, she's looking over the balcony that he just came from. I feel like it'd be really hard to be like, I was laying in bed and he just pushed himself over the balcony. I didn't do it. It's just, either way, she's going to look guilty, kind of.
Right.
Even though she didn't do it, obviously.
Obviously.
It's just sketchy.
She doesn't really have an
alibi.
alibi.
How do you explain that?
It's just you and him. Okay. So now we see a girl. Her name is Yoko. She is riding her bike through town into this house. And then when she goes in, she finds this note and says, out for a walk, be back later, Jennifer. She goes over to this lady named Emma. Like, I don't know who Yoko is.
Right.
When I first watched this movie. But she goes in and she's like talking to this lady named Emma, who's sitting in this chair in the living room. Emma doesn't have any emotion.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything. She looks very confused. And then Yoko puts her down for a nap. She makes a phone call as she's like cleaning up this trash that's completely thrown around this apartment or house. I'm sorry.
So at this point in the movie, I thought the old lady that she was helping, that she's like her caretaker of, I thought she was by herself. And I'm like, how is this trash all over the house and up the stairs if this woman who is like immobile and doesn't speak and has no facial expressions, like how is she putting this trash all over the house?
Exactly.
I was like, okay, noted. Interesting.
It's coming back. So now upstairs, Yoko hears a noise coming from one of the rooms down the hall.
Oh boy.
So she goes in and she starts picking up more trash as she's walking down there. She hears this creaking noise on the ceiling. Then there's a thud in the closet that's right behind her.
I can't with this bitch. I can't.
And then when she opens it, she decides to go in.
Yeah, because there's like an attic crawl space. Like there's an access to the attic inside the closet she opened.
Why?
So she decides, I should go in the attic. Okay, even if it's an animal, let's just say at like the most potentially harmless scenario.
Correct.
Let's say there's an animal in there. Why are you going to stick your head up into this attic when you don't know what's up there?
I don't know.
It could be like a nasty rabid raccoon. You don't know.
No.
This bitch is like, I'll check it out.
And my question about this little closet thing that's there.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there.
No.
I thought it was like a laundry chute.
Yeah.
Because
there's like a ledge, like a solid ledge enough for her to stand on.
Why?
To like climb up into the attic.
It's weird. The whole thing is weird.
Yeah. And also what's weird too is she already has a lighter, like a cigarette, like a lighter in her pocket, like readily available to like look up in the attic. And I'm like, you know, this house has flashlights, right?
Do you not know that she's a chain smoker? I mean, she's a chain
smoker. This is the problem we had with.
Why are you judging her right now?
I'm thinking
don't judge
my
her.
judgment is if you're looking to light up an entire attic, a lighter is not the way to do it. This is the problem we had in The Conjuring too, where they had the book of matches, and he's like, let me keep lighting this one single match to light up inches in front of my face.
What, you don't have a flashlight?
Can't stand it.
Okay.
So she takes this lighter and slowly is like, okay, I'm going to peek into the stupid freaking attic. I can't.
But you could see in the attic without the lighter.
It was stupid.
Okay. So she looks around this attic, and then as she turns behind her, is it Kyoko?
Yes.
Okay. So I called her the Kyoko ghost girl because I don't know who she is. She attacks her, drags her up into the attic as she's like screaming, and then she's dead.
Uh-huh.
We stop hearing the screaming.
Yeah.
So the next scene, we meet a new character. Her name is Karen.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Her name is Karen.
You know, I can't say Sarah Michelle Gellar the entire time, so I abbreviated it to SMG in my notes. So maybe I'll just call her Sarah.
Or Karen. You know what? Just decide in a minute. Just think about it.
I'll see what mood I'm in when we get to more information about Sarah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Karen is sleeping in her bed while her boyfriend, Doug, is getting dressed for the day. But she coaxes him back into bed.
Oh, yes, she sure does. She set the clocks in the apartment ahead an hour so that he would be ready for work. And then she would be like, no, but I want to bang. Come back to bed.
I know.
Like, why set the clocks ahead? Just like set your alarm an hour earlier and then just like have
roll
sex
over.
Then. And then he could just be like, okay, I'm done. And then go get ready for work or school, whatever he's doing.
It was a lot.
It was like way too much planning for what it was. Like, just wake up, have sex, and then go to work.
But she had to plan it. In her mind, this was the best way to do it.
It was a lot.
It was
a lot of thought that went involved in that.
It was a little convoluted. little bit.
And there was a little element of trickery in there that I just didn't understand either. He wasn't like, didn't want to do it. He was like, okay. So it seems like it could have been easy at any time to just wake up and do it.
And it's really bright outside too. So, I mean, even an hour earlier, I think you'd been fine.
It would have been great.
Not that you can't have sex at night. I'm just saying. I don't know why I said that.
Have sex whenever you want.
Right.
It just doesn't seem like you need to really be a trickery situation about it.
All right. So a little later on, they both leave and they head to, I think, class. I think she was going to her.
Yeah, they're exchange students.
Yes.
So they're American. They are going to school in Japan. But I think he's doing this school work thing, and I think she is
correct.
Too.
Yeah. So she's heading to her job. And then we see the camera like shot from above where people are like in this crosswalk, like going through Japan. And I'm like, it looks like somebody's about to do like a flash mob and like do this, like break out of this like choreographed
There was a lot
dance.
of people. Yeah.
But they were all like distanced equally.
Yeah.
Like they're.
It was disappointing that there was no flash mob now.
I needed a flash mob.
That would have been cool.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have taken this movie up a notch. On their walk, they stop at this grave site and she starts explaining to Doug about this Buddhist ritual and like that people are lighting candles that are in this grave area.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this necessary?
I don't know. And I was it's like, not because it never comes back again. And maybe because she was saying that, like, now I think about it, maybe it is a little bit because she was saying that, like, they're honoring the past spirits. And I think in like what they're saying in like a Japanese tradition kind of culture is like the spirit may leave the body, but it's not gone kind of a thing.
Okay.
So like maybe it ties in a little bit, but it's a stretch.
The way that I took it, because I'm like, this is kind of irrelevant for me, but I was thinking, well, maybe this is just showing her and like she is really
trying to submerge herself in
correct.
The culture.
Yeah, just trying to find out more. She's like really done her research on it before going there. Okay, so Karen arrives at work and her boss asks her to visit Emma because apparently Yoko never showed up for work. And he explains that she has severe lethargy with mild dementia.
Yeah.
Is that what that is? Because I don't think that's what that is.
There has to be something else. She can't just be lethargic. That's insane.
No. Okay. So this is the first time that she has done anything for herself. Like, I think that she was like going along with other people that were taking care of some of these other people.
Because she didn't want to do it. He was like, here, take this case and go take. And he's like, go. He's like,
you're
you'll
ready.
get there. Go find street maps. Get on the bus. It's fine. You'll find it. You guys got to go take care of this lady. And she's like, I don't want to do that at all. And I'm like, I'm with you, girl.
Well, I have in my notes, she heads off to her death. I mean, I mean, Emma's house. As she walks up, she looks really perplexed for one reason or another.
It takes her forever to get there too.
Right.
She's like walk, and then she gets on the bus, and then she's like walking to this town and like asks for directions, and then walking up this damn hill, and then gets to the house. Like, how far away is this town that this lady lives in?
I don't know, but maybe she should have taken the note from Yoko's book and rode a bicycle.
Seriously.
But how did she get up? Did she live nearby? I don't know. Whatever.
That's a lot of questions.
All right. So she sees Yoko's bike outside.
Yeah.
She rings the doorbell, and I'm like, did her boss?
Didn't she say the lady was lethargic?
Yeah.
She's not going to answer the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just go in because Yoko didn't bring the key back anyway.
Right. She had the only key, which seems like poor planning. Like, why wouldn't Yoko have a key and then the office for like the care place that Yoko works for have a key to the house also?
Just in case something happened.
Right. Okay. Whatever. They clearly didn't ask us.
Anyways, she goes in and she sees trash all over this house.
Everywhere again. Yeah.
Food scattered all over the house. So she sees Emma trying to get out of her room. Like her hands are like grabbing at the door. So she goes over to open the door for her on her bedroom. And I guess she's like, oh, okay, there's a person here. You must be Emma. Hi, how are you? So the next scene we see her sitting up. Emma is sitting at this doorway just watching. Well, she's not really watching. She's just sitting there with a blank stare on her face as Karen is doing her laundry and giving her a bath.
Yeah.
I would call that
like a little sponge bath.
A hoe bath is what I would call it. I'm just saying.
Sometimes you just say things that surprise me. And I just really was not expecting it.
Oh.
It was funny.
Yeah. That's what. Okay. All right. So
just gotta clean up quick.
Okay, so Karen gets her back into bed and she starts picking up all the trash that's around the house. She hears the same creaking noise that Yoko heard when she was on the second floor. And then she goes into this room. She sees this closet door, but it's like heavily taped.
It's like taped closed.
With hazard tape.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, heavy around the door casing. Like it's a sliding door. There's like tape everywhere, and she hears like that thumping noise. She's like gonna leave at that point. She's like, that's sketchy. And then she starts hearing a cat meowing. So now in her head, she's convinced that there's a cat taped inside the closet.
Don't do it.
So she's like, well, I must save this cat, and starts ripping the tape off of the doors. No, to me, red fucking flag. If there is any door taped in anybody's house that I don't know, I am not touching it.
No.
I am running the hell out of there. And I'm calling Alex like, you have to send somebody else here. Or come hang out with me because this is sketchy as shit.
This is too much for my first time.
Anybody else live here with this lady? Because this is sketchy as shit.
Right.
No. She takes all the tape off the door and she insists on like opening it.
Yeah.
And when she opens it, she sees like it's empty and there's like a book, like a journal on this shelf.
Yes.
Right? So she's like, that's weird. I must check it out. And she goes to like reach for it and a fucking cat jumps out.
Of course it does.
And that's the first scare I got. And I got so damn mad.
Is that your first yell that you had?
Oh, I was so mad. I was like, God damn it. How did I miss that? I knew it was coming.
And then she sees like this child sitting in the back corner.
There's this little boy. He's got to be like 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got bruises and cuts all over his face. And his knee is like bandaged up from being this blood. Like this kid got his ass kicked. And he looks a hot mess. And she just sees this little boy sitting in this taped closet. Fuck that.
And then she just ends up kind of like backing away and just falls to the ground.
Yeah.
Then the little boy looks up at her because he has his head down like on his knees. He has got his knees pulled up to his chest. And then Karen makes a call to someone to get there.
Not the police, though.
No. And help with this little boy. She called Alex.
Yeah. She calls her boss, but doesn't call the police. I can't.
If you are going there to take care of a lethargic woman who can't take care of herself.
Yeah.
And you find a little boy who's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Taped inside of a closet.
Call
the cops. And also get out of the fucking house. I would be running out of the house and on my cell phone as I'm running down the street, like 911, like, you gotta go to this house. I'm running. I can't talk right now. Just gotta go. It's sketchy as shit.
I have to get the fuck out.
You understand, right?
You get me. I'm still gonna get paid
I'm
for today,
scared.
right?
I gotta go.
But I'm gonna get paid, right? I'm gonna get paid.
Oh yeah, I need that money.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. So as she ends this phone call, she picks up the book that's laying on the table now that she found in the closet, and she finds hand-drawn pictures, a picture of a guy, Peter.
Bill Pullman.
He's the one that threw himself off the balcony at the beginning of the movie. So Karen goes to the front door to lock it.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
If her boss is coming over,
I don't know.
why lock the door?
I guess she got a little freaked out. She's trying to keep the boy in. I don't know. Let him go.
She needs to get herself out is what she needs to do.
No. So as she's in this foyer area of this house, she sees a family picture, and the little boy that was in the closet, he's now standing up the stairs, just like looking down at them.
So creepy. He's got like his face between like the spindles on the staircase.
Yeah.
And he's just staring at her. And this picture that she sees on the floor is a family picture. It's like a husband and a wife and a little boy, which is the little boy she found in the closet.
Tashio.
Yes. And then the woman, the mom of the picture, her face is like ripped out of the picture. Just her face.
Yeah.
Is ripped out of the picture. It's like a hole in the picture.
Ew.
Oh, boy.
It's not great.
Oh, boy.
So she introduces herself to the little boy, and then he says what his name is, and that's it.
Yeah.
So then the phone rings.
Yes.
It's dead silent, and the phone rings, and I got a little jumpy.
Of course.
Just because
how do you not?
Jump scares.
Uh-huh.
The answering machine picks up, and it's a lady named Susan, and she asks if Matt is there and for him to pick up.
Yeah.
So she's apparently Matt's sister, and is just checking on her mother.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Susan. Matt, are you there? Pick up. Okay, well, I'm leaving work now, so you can try my cell or give me a call at home later. Just want to make sure Mom's okay.
And Karen notices that the phone is not on the charger.
Yeah.
And she starts kind of looking around, but not looking for it.
Yeah.
She's wondering where it's at.
She's noticing that it's not accessible, which is definitely sketchy as shit.
Correct. Okay. So all of a sudden, a shadow floats by the bedroom where Emma's sleeping. And when Karen goes in, Emma's sitting up and she's like whispering to someone. And Karen asks who she's talking to. And then all of a sudden, Emma looks directly at Karen without hesitation and says,
I just want her to leave me alone.
like she hasn't said a goddamn word this entire time. And then she just looks at you and just speaks clearly.
No, not okay. Karen's like, okay, I don't know what this is about. And it's like, you just need to lay down, go to bed. It's
just take a pill and lie down.
You're hysterical.
Hysterical.
Your dementia's kicking in. Lay down. So she lays her down, and as Emma is laying down, her eyes are like bugged out, staring at the ceiling, and she looks freaked out.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Michelle Gellar, Karen, sees it, and she's like notices her reaction, and we see this like
wispy,
ghost,
like shadowy,
weird
person,
black hair kind of thing happening like between the two of them. And when she turns, there was this sketchy ass face all up in her face, making weird mouth noises again. Freaked Sarah out, and she like yells and she starts like backing up into the corner, and now she's like in fetal position in the corner while there's this weird ghost thing in the house.
I'm pretty sure I would be that person too.
Yes. How do you not?
I don't know how you come back from that.
Oh no, but she shook.
she is shook.
And now it's a flashback time.
You know what? When I first watched this movie, I don't remember this many flashbacks.
Me neither.
There was a shit ton of flashbacks.
Yes. And they're not like clear right away, some of them. This one was, but there's a couple other that you have to like really pay attention to.
Yes.
I didn't remember that many flashbacks either.
Maybe it's because we are taking notes on these movies where we had to like...
We have to pay attention.
God damn it.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know it.
But it's for everybody. It's for everybody's listening enjoyment.
You're welcome, guys.
Fine, we'll take notes. Okay, so we are in a flashback. And we are looking at the house before it was purchased with this family. So we see a man. His name is Matt, his wife Jen, his mother Emma, and then his sister Susan.
Yes.
They're all looking around this house to decide if that's what they're going to get or not.
The plan is that they're going to buy the house that Matt and Jennifer are going to move into, and the mom is going to live there with them.
Correct. Yeah.
Susan has like an apartment somewhere in Japan, and they're moving to Japan also because his job moved him there.
I mean, what are the chances?
Weird. So weird. Coincidence. So they like the house because there's a bedroom on the first floor that Emma can live in, and they can have the upstairs of the house, and they're like, oh, this is great. And they're like touring this house.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time wondering if the realtor knew the history of the house.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
He did because he didn't seem very sketched out until we see a little bit later.
Because they start touring this house, right? And they're walking through it and they like it. And then all of a sudden they realize that Emma's gone. They're like, where the fuck she go? Guys, who was keeping track of her? She's wandered off.
You know how mom is. You got to keep track of her.
So Susan's like, oh, I'll go find her. So Emma ended up upstairs. And in that room that had the taped closet door, Emma is just standing there.
Staring at the ceiling.
Not blinking, emotionless, not saying anything, just staring at the ceiling. So Susan's trying to like break her focus. Like, what do you see? What are you seeing? And then all of a sudden, Matt and Jennifer come in and they're like, what's going on? Matt stands in front of her and she's like moving to stare at the ceiling still. Like she's moving away from him so she can continue staring and not break her focus. And they hear like the creaky noises again. And she's just like drawn to this creepy ass room.
Yeah.
I don't
get out of the room. The whole room should be taped up, not the closet.
Yeah. So as they're upstairs, the realtor goes into the downstairs bathroom.
Well, here's water dripping.
Yeah. And he opens the bathroom and sees the tub is completely full of what looks like black water, which is gross.
Was it a black tub or black water?
I think it was the water that was dark.
I
couldn't
don't know.
really tell.
If it was a black tub, shame on them.
Gross.
You should, yuck.
Gross.
You should get a white tub where you know it's clean or dirty.
Just redo it.
Okay, thanks.
Just redo it.
Great.
But of course, the like drain stopper is not attached to the chain. Of course.
Of course it's
because
not.
He pulls the chain. It's like, oh no, I can't drain the tub. Great. So he like takes off his jacket, rolls up his sleeve. He's going to put his fucking arm in this tub.
With black water that you can't see in.
Fucking gross. So gross.
It's in a house that you don't know. Why would you do that?
I hate everything about it. It's so gross.
Get a flashlight.
So as he's like reaching around this tub to try to like, which I'm thinking like, what are you searching for? Like it's either you're at the drain or you're not, right? Like, let's be real. All of a sudden, this hand comes out of the water and like grabs his forearm and he like yells and like falls back and it's the little boy.
Giggling. He was giggling underneath the water.
Little bitch.
He like floated to the top of the water and then floated right back down.
Ugh. And then Matt comes in at that point. He's like, okay, we'll take it.
He's like,
this is our house now.
Oh, okay. The realtor's like, okay,
He's like, great. Give me the fuck out of here. I'm out.
All right. So the next couple of days, they were like moving and unpacking their things in this house.
Yeah.
Matt mentioned that his mother had been sleeping a lot since they moved in. And Jennifer's like, yeah, she does, but only at night.
No, during the day.
Only during
the day.
Fuck.
She doesn't sleep
This
at night.
was us. Yeah. She didn't sleep at night.
Yeah. Which means that like Jennifer is now not sleeping at night because she's taking care of her.
She's tired.
Because Matt makes a comment like, oh, I must be a heavy sleeper. I'm like, you're such a dick. This is your mom. Your wife is now losing sleep because you're going to sleep heavily and your mom is wide awake.
Well, you know what? Apparently she doesn't have a job. So she can just, I guess, sleep when she's
whenever
sleeping.
there's time.
Right.
You'll make do, right?
When you're not unpacking and stuff.
We're going to move to Japan. I'm going to get you some culture shock, move to a completely different country, and you're going to take care of my mom and not get any sleep, right? Oh, we're good, right? This is great. We're fine. This is a great situation.
Oh, God. Okay. So Matt can see that she's upset, that Jennifer's upset.
Girl's tired.
So he asks her what's wrong. She says that she went for a walk yesterday. And this confused me because I'm like, this kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So she's been building this up for a minute.
Yeah.
So she says that she went for a walk yesterday, got so lost and couldn't find anybody that spoke English. And then he says that he promises it'll get easier. And if it doesn't, they're going to move back to the US.
They can always just go back.
I don't know if he's telling the truth.
I don't think so.
I think he's just trying to appease her.
Yeah, make her feel better.
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
So we see Jen at the grocery store and
Poor
she's
girl.
not sure what she's getting.
No.
She ends up like getting this bowl of what I thought was like ramen noodles.
It was. It's like the ramen soup kind of.
Yeah, it was like in the little bowl.
Yeah.
And she like sticks her finger in the top of it, I guess, to smell it to see if it
what
smells
it is.
okay.
Yeah.
And she ends up buying a bunch of them
Uh-huh.
because, well, you don't even know.
Yeah,
All right.
she's like, I guess this is affordable.
Oh my gosh. I feel like she should have done a little bit of lessons before she went over there.
Or
to
just
at least
some research on like food or what certain words mean.
I
or
don't
anything.
know.
Because it's not like they're living in the heart of Tokyo where you're going to be starting people who speak a bunch of English. It looks like they're in like the boonies.
This is 2004. Didn't they have like some kind of translators of like electronic type of translators?
The internet.
But I mean like a handheld device of some sort.
I would imagine so.
Something.
There's definitely tools for her to be able to figure out what the hell was going on.
To communicate.
Yeah,
Just simply.
it just seems like she was definitely against it and is just, not
She's against
adapting.
it. Yeah, not choosing to. Okay. So Jen decides to take a nap from her ramen noodle bowl and she's awoken by things falling off the table, like the coffee table
And
that she's sleeping by.
footsteps. Freaking
yeah.
running footsteps. I can't.
When she looks around, Emma's like sitting up in bed.
Ugh.
Her half-eaten bowl of ramen noodles is like spilled on the floor.
All over.
Wrappers are all over the place. And then she starts to walk over to Emma because Emma's sitting up. And she's like, you just had to ask for something to eat and I would have helped you.
Yeah.
Like, you should have
If
just
you
asked
want
me.
food, you have to knock my shit over. Like, calm
Correct.
down.
Yeah. And so then she sees these little footprints that are going through her ramen noodle wetness that's on the floor.
Like through the house.
Yeah. So of course she goes to check it out because why wouldn't you do that? So she goes
Pick up your phone, girl.
I don't. What?
It's infuriating.
It's infuriating.
It's absolutely infuriating. If I knew there's only 2 people in the house and one of them doesn't move and the other one is me and I saw footsteps after my soup got knocked over, boop, 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 shit's gone down here.
Right.
I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah.
Send help.
This is not the place for
Just
me.
call the cops. Like, I think there's somebody in my house. That just as easy as that.
And then just pick Emma up and just
Drag
take
her
her
ass
outside.
out. Go.
That's fine.
Just go outside.
There's no judgment.
I can't.
Okay.
No, this bitch goes and explores. I can't handle it.
She goes to find out where these footprints lead. She sees this random black cat that's going up her staircase.
It's not theirs.
How did the cat get in? Who's the cat?
Not their cat.
Okay. So there are hands that like come down, like she's going up and then the
It's like a landing.
Yeah, the landing, and it kind of goes up the other direction.
It's like a U-shaped kind of staircase.
Oh man.
She like peeks around the corner and you can't see the rest of the staircase, just the landing there.
Yeah.
And she sees the cat, and that's where she sees the creepy ghost hands. Like they're just like white, gray, like dead looking arms.
Yeah.
That
Just grab the
cat.
Mhm.
And she shouts, "Who's there?" And then goes up the fucking stairs.
Okay.
Okay, that's confirmation for you that there's somebody in your house.
Get the fuck out.
Opposite direction, girl. No. She's like, "Oh, who are you? I'm coming up there." Like, bitch, don't be a hero.
How do you know it's a child? How do you not know it's like an older person?
Get
How do you
out.
not know it's somebody that's got some kind of weapons that's going to stab your ass?
You
I
don't
don't
know.
You don't know.
Get up out of there.
Okay.
Girl.
So she goes up the stairs, obviously.
course.
Gets in the hallway. She goes into one of the bedrooms.
Of course.
The door closes behind her.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that. Now we see Matt get home that night and call for Jen, like coming into the house asking.
Because the
"Hey,
house
Jen."
is completely dark. No lights are on.
Yeah, no. There's no answer. He walks through the house and he sees like the horrible mess because there's more mess in the house.
I have a quick question. I just
Yes.
thought of it. So I don't know how long they've been living in this house, right? They don't tell us how long. But when they buy the house, the mom is walking around just fine, right?
Oh,
She's
yeah,
touring
yeah.
the house, whatever. But all of a sudden now she's immobile.
Correct.
How much time has gone by for her? All of a sudden she just can't move.
That's a good question. Why wouldn't they be taking her to the hospital or anything like that?
I don't know. Like, I don't.
Well, she was diagnosed with dementia.
But like, she just doesn't walk either. She can't move. So like, I don't know. All of a sudden, I don't get it.
We have a few missing puzzle pieces. That's all.
Because somehow she got up the stairs by herself to stare at the wall, you know? And
She
all of a
did.
sudden now she's just laying on her mattress and can't move?
Well, I think it was after that when she started staring at the ceiling when they first got there. It was after that. That's when she went
Maybe it
downhill.
was the house that started kind of fucking with her.
Yeah, I
maybe?
think so.
Weird. I mean, let's say that it is.
Let's
say it's that.
Okay. Anyways, I digress.
Okay.
So Matt goes in the house, calls for Jen. No answer. He walks through the house, sees this mess. He walks over to his mother and asks where Jen is.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything, but she points to another room that's like off of her room.
Yeah.
Without saying anything.
Like toward the stairs.
Correct.
Mhm.
So when he goes in, he sees Jen like laying on the bed, wheezing.
Yes.
She is
Her
breathing.
eyes are like wide open,
Yes.
like bug-eyed, staring at the ceiling, breathing very heavy.
very heavy.
Very heavy, gasping for air, awkward as shit.
So she tries to talk, but then all of a sudden, the little boy,
Ugh.
Takio, the little dead little boy,
I think it's Tashio.
Takio. Takio?
I don't think it's Takio.
That's not it. That's Tashio. Sorry, Tashio. Didn't mean to screw up your name.
He's like, these bitches aren't gonna get it right.
So he pops up on the other side of the bed from where Matt is standing.
Ugh.
And
Because he goes to reach for the phone to call an ambulance.
Yes.
And he like jumps out like, not in my house, bitch. And freaks him and me out. I jumped again at that point.
Oh, was this another one?
Yes, I
You're
was
like,
so
"Damn
mad.
it."
I'm like, Stephanie, you've seen this movie.
You know what's going to happen. So Jen ends up dying pretty quickly after that. And we hear the little boy's feet running all around this room.
Oh, I hate it.
all around the room.
I hate it.
Then when Matt looks up, the little boy is over him. He opens his mouth to yell and this meow comes out. So he's the meowing boy. And his mouth is like really round
It's
and
like
dark.
Yeah, it's like a black hole. It's just, ugh.
It's pretty intense.
I feel like in this entire movie, the family that's haunting this house, I feel like their anger is very misdirected. And I don't understand it. Because this little boy, right? Like, we find out what happened to this little boy later on.
Yeah.
Why he's so mad?
I don't know.
Why is he mad at these poor people living in his house? Like, okay, they're living in his house, but like, they're not trying to hurt him. Maybe he's got major trust issues now.
Well, maybe it was the rage of how this all happens that maybe they're all have gotten that.
They're just angry?
Just angry.
It's very misdirected. This poor family.
Would you like to tell him that? Would you like to have a conversation?
Hold on. I'm going to send him an email right now.
Dear Tashio,
your anger is misdirected. Let's talk. Love, Stephanie.
You are loved.
You can trust again, I promise.
Oh
Everything will be okay.
All right, back to present day. We hear Karen's boss, Alex, ringing the doorbell on this house.
Again.
And he just lets himself in, which, didn't she lock the door? Oh, no,
he went in the back.
Yes, it was the bedroom.
He's ringing the bell, and I'm like, guys, okay, again, the bell. He, like, walks around to the back of the house and, like, goes in the back door, like a sliding glass door.
Off of her bedroom.
Which leads to, Emma's room, and she's just laying on the bed, just...
I said she was real dead looking.
100%. And he's like, I think I was saying, Williams. He's like, hey, Miss Williams. And then he freaks out, realizes that she's dead, and he, like, falls and hits the ground and then bumps into Sarah Michelle Gellar, who's still in fetal position in the corner, just staring at the ceiling. I'm like, oh boy.
Well, this is a good time.
Oh boy.
So he ends up calling the police.
Good.
Finally.
Jesus, yes.
It just takes some time for some people to like do the right thing. So when the investigator comes in to ask Alex, he asked him if he knew the people that were in the picture that he was showing him, which is Emma's family.
Yeah, it was Matt and his wife, Jen. Correct. It was like their wedding picture. I guess they found the picture in the house. And Alex was like, yeah, that's Emma's whatever family. And like, I have a hard time with this part too, because I'm thinking like the people that signed up for this company's care for their mom, that company knows that the son and the mom and his wife live in this house.
Correct.
So when Yoko didn't show up for work or any of this is going on, is nobody trying to contact this guy or his wife to find out like what's going on in their house if one of their employees just don't show up?
Well, we don't see any of that.
None of it.
Maybe it's happening behind the scenes, but we're not seeing it.
He definitely don't say anything.
No.
Because he makes it seem like, I think he even says like he's only met them one time when they came to sign up and then never again have they spoken to him. And I'm like, that doesn't seem legit.
No, especially if you're getting some care. I just don't. Okay.
Because especially if the person you're caring for is immobile, can't speak, and has dementia, like, you think you'd be contacting the son a shit ton.
You would think.
No. They're like, whatever.
Just to do like a check-in.
They're like, Yoko, you got this, right? She don't. Yoko's not okay.
No. She even lost her bike and her life. It was just sad.
Poor Yoko. She didn't deserve any of it.
Well, the investigator asks when the last time that he saw him. He wants him to come in tomorrow and make a statement.
Yeah.
So he also explains that Yoko hasn't shown up for work. So they listen to the message that Susan had left her brother about his mom, and the investigator sees that the phone is missing. So he presses the find button on the thing, and then it starts beeping. So they follow it upstairs. So they search the rooms, and they find it in the closet, of course.
It's in that same sketchy-ass room with the taped closet doors.
Correct. Yes. So he also finds strands of hair. There's a lot of hair in this movie.
But it looked like blonde hair, didn't it?
No, I think it was black.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Light. Oh, well.
No. He opens the attic and
because
decides to go in as well.
They hear like a draft and he looks up and he's like, oh, attic access. Hey. He turns to his like detective assistant guy and he's like, hey, we should go up there, right?
Because why wouldn't we?
And the assistant's like, of course, I got a fucking flashlight. Let's go up there. And I'm like, guys, stop.
Oh, you don't have a cigarette lighter? No. That's the best tool to see things around you.
How are you going to see with a freaking flashlight? Get a lighter, guys. Come on.
That's dumb. So he gets up there to look around and he finds both Matt and Jen.
Yeah.
Then he hears like loud ringing as he sees these two people.
In his ears, yeah. It's like this high-pitched ringing sound.
Yeah. So then one of his helpers.
Yeah. I said assistant.
Assistant.
Whatever.
I like assistant, not helper. Okay. It's more.
Helper sounds a little bit like derogatory toward this guy. Like
he's a helper.
A little condescending to his job, maybe.
He's an assistant.
Okay.
Whatever. It was his partner, maybe. Okay. So anyways, they see a person's jaw like laying between them and Jen and Matt. And there's like laying.
It looks
on the ground,
freshly like gums and teeth, like bottom jaw of someone's mouth.
It did,
because the way that Matt and Jen were like positioned looked like they were like staged that way, which I thought was sketchy. I don't know if they did. But like Matt is sitting upright. Like his back is against the wall and Jen is laying on the floor with like the back of her head like on his lap. So it's like they were placed there weird. And then
I think the ghosty person did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the assistant's like, yeah, but who does that belong to? And it was someone's jaw. Just like you said, just casually on the floor. Like no big deal.
Just hanging out. It's like a half a jaw. It's fine.
Boy.
So we're in the hospital and Karen wakes up. She sees Doug waiting for her to wake up.
Oh.
So sweet. He says that he's sorry what she just went through. The old lady had died in her sleep, and Karen asks if that's what they said happened.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't think that's what happened.
Yeah, she knows something's going on in that house.
Yeah. So now we flash back to when Susan called the house looking for Matt and left a message saying that she was worried about her mom and that she was leaving work. She is one of the last people in her office that night.
Of course. That's how it always is. It's like these people work until like 10 o'clock at night. Their entire building, always on these like multi-story giant buildings. Everything is completely dark. No lights are on.
It's true.
And they're always the last person working.
Yeah.
Girl. Call the security guard and have them walk you to your car or something.
What is our rule?
Buddy system,
Buddy
guys.
system.
I can't.
They don't care.
So cliche.
Nobody in these movies cares about buddy system.
Halls are empty. It's so annoying.
So she starts walking down one of the hallways, like leaving her office, and she hears a creaking sound.
Ugh.
She picks up the pace.
Sure does.
And then she runs into a stairwell.
Bitch.
Why?
I can't. If you think someone's following you, yes, go into a sketchy ass stairwell.
Don't go into a stairwell.
I run to the security office, get in the elevator, something. Like stairwell.
That was her choice, Stephanie. That was her choice.
Yes. And the entire time she's like sprinting down this hallway, she keeps trying to call Matt on her cell phone to be like, where the fuck you at? Like, why are you not answering? Whatever. So when she gets into the dark stairwell, because there's no lights in there either, of course, her phone starts ringing.
And it's Matt. Uh-huh.
So she answers it and she's like, oh, where you been? Whatever. And the response is that creaky mouth noise again that I love so much. So she hears that on the other end of the phone and she's like, Matt, I think she thinks he's like fucking with her.
Right.
And then the phone call just gets disconnected. And I'm like, okay, I don't like any of this. You're in the stairwell by yourself. Just like go back.
Well, she does after she hears like a ton of like noises and
the lights are flickering. And they're like, because she's kind of in the middle of the building, I guess, because she looks up through the stairwell and the lights are turning off upstairs.
Yes.
And then she looks downstairs and sees this like zombie lady like crawling
on
with like broken bones up the goddamn stairs. And she's like, nope. I'm out, and she leaves the stairwell, but that zombie bitch caught up to her so fast and like grabbed her phone because she had this like keychain thing off of her
like
phone.
A rabbit's foot.
Weird. It was like hanging off of her foot.
Yeah.
And she grabbed it.
It's very 2004.
Yeah. Little phone bling.
Yeah.
And she grabs it and it like rips, like disconnects from her phone. And she looks and in the crack of the door was that creepy eye. I'm like, just the
with the
dead
hair
zombie
and
black haired lady with all the mouthy noises.
Ugh. So she bolts back to the office where there's another coworker now.
Security guard.
He's obviously the only one there. There's not multiple ones in this huge building.
I'm not saying that security guards need to be like meaty guys, but like
he's mousy.
He looked like, his like uniform was too big for him.
Yeah.
He just, yes, buddy system, I'm all about it, but I don't feel like he would like throw down for me. You know what I mean?
What's that old show that is it Gomer Pyle? Is it? Oh, God. The Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, like the sheriff guy.
Yes! Yeah. It was like that. Okay. So he tells her, just sit down.
Just hang out in the security office.
Calm down. It's
I'll go
fine.
check it out.
I'm going to go look around.
Yeah.
So we see him on the security camera.
Of course,
she's kind of watching him.
She's watching him.
Of course she is. So the camera begins to like flash and like the lights go on and off down this hallway that she's looking at in this camera. And she sees shadows on the wall.
Yep.
And then this black mass appears and like turns into this person.
It's like a woman's silhouette.
A woman's silhouette starts walking towards her. She freaks the fuck out.
Of course.
She doesn't wait any longer.
Nope.
She runs outside, jumps in a cab, looks like real worried.
Uh-huh.
And then she's going back to her apartment building.
Yep.
So in the elevator at her apartment building, she like closes her eyes. She's like really freaked out. And then there is a window that is in the elevator that can be seen like in each
It's like
of the
elevator
levels.
doors are partly like glass.
Correct.
And then
so you can see into each level.
Yes. And then on that floor, the door in front of the elevator has the same type of glass. So as you're going up every floor, you can see what's on that floor. Well, that creepy kid, full on naked.
Little naked boy.
Yes. He's just standing there and he sees her going up every flipping floor and he's getting closer and closer to where it's only like his nose and his eyes just watching her. And then when she gets to her floor, he's not there that we see.
He's not. Well,
and she didn't see him at all.
Well,
he is. But he's not.
He's not.
We just don't see him. I can't.
Okay. So she walks real slowly towards her apartment.
Ugh.
When she gets in, she sits down on her couch. She tries to like decompress to figure out what the fuck just happened to her. The phone rings. And it's Matt. Well,
it sounds like Matt.
It sounds like Matt. He says that he's downstairs and that she just needs to buzz him in.
Yeah, I would have been so sketched out because he calls super casual.
Yeah.
She's been leaving voicemails all day, freaking out. And he's like, hey, what apartment number are you again? What floor are you? Like, he's asking her questions that, like, he should know.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, oh, I'm apartment number whatever. I'll buzz you in. And I'm like, I would have been so sketched out about that. Could you have your sibling calls and is like, what's your address again? Like,
yeah.
I've been like, who are you?
I know. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've been trying to get a hold of mom. Nobody's called me back. And then all of a sudden you're at my apartment building.
Right. So she buzzes him up and immediately, he didn't have any time to get into the elevator, get all the way upstairs, walk to her apartment and ring the bell. The doorbell rings immediately.
As soon as she gets off the phone.
And she was like, not concerned about it. She just walks over to the door, looks out the people, and it's him. He's just standing outside the door. And I'm like, how the fuck is that possible?
I don't know what I would have done because that freaked me out.
It freaked me out too.
Yeah. I don't know. But she opens the door. He's not there.
No.
She looks around and her house phone that she's holding starts like making that horrible
Mouthy noise. Ugh.
She drops the phone. It shatters.
Yeah.
She bolts back into her apartment, jumps in bed. I guess that's where you feel comfortable. You just jump in bed. I don't know. Everybody deals with it differently.
You definitely don't call anybody on your cell phone. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. Then she realizes that the rabbit foot that she had lost in her office is in her hand now. And then she sees like this moving under the covers, like at her feet.
She lives by herself, guys.
Oh, God. So she lifts the covers up and the creepy ass girl is like right there.
Yeah.
And attacks her and sucks her into the bed.
She disappears.
She's gone.
Okay.
Where'd she go? Is there a hole in the sheet? Back at the hospital, the investigator goes to speak to Karen. He asks her about the little boy that she saw in the book that she found. He shows her a family picture that they found in the house, and she confirmed that this was the boy that she saw at the staircase when she was there. She tells him that the house didn't feel right.
The whole time I was in that house, I felt something was wrong.
And she just asked, she's like, what happened
there? She knows something went wrong in the house.
Something is not right. Yep. Tell me what's going on. So he tells her that it seems to them.
They think that Matt killed his wife and then killed himself.
Correct.
And she does not buy it at all.
Because there are other things in that house.
100%.
So one of the other investigators,
the assistant guy,
comes in the room and asks to speak with the lead investigator.
Yeah.
And he tells him that they went to go and try to talk to Susan, but she wasn't there.
Yeah.
The chain on the door was on from the inside.
Yep.
So she must have come home, but there was nobody in the apartment.
Yeah. So guys, the freaking like deadbolt chain thing, whatever it is, was locked inside her apartment. They had to like break into her apartment. She's just gone. She vanished. And they find it so fucking weird. And I'm like, that is super weird.
So apparently there's no rips in the sheets where she was sucked into the bed.
No, the black hole is just gone, I guess. So the detective tells him to like pull security cameras and like try to figure out what the hell happened. And then the assistant was like, do you know what happened to that family that lived in that house? Was it like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And he's like, do you know anything about that?
Oh, it was the quote unquote discovery.
Yeah.
Is that what you're going to call this discovery?
Sure. Okay. It's big. It's huge. It's like a bombshell. It's insane.
Yeah. I would say that.
Yeah.
Karen gets out of the hospital and she goes to see Doug after he closes up, or I don't know if they're on lunch break. I don't know. He's
his
bringing
boss
the
let
sign.
him go early or
Yeah.
whatever. Mm-hmm.
She says she doesn't want to be alone, and he looks actually really concerned. He's really such a nice little
He was
boyfriend.
very nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
so nice.
Poor Doug.
They get on the bus together, and Karen is off in like La La Land.
Uh-huh.
He asks what's wrong, and she says that she thinks she saw something in the house and that there was something there with her and Emma when she was there with her. She glances over to the window of the bus and she sees the creepy girl face in the reflection. She freaks out and she says she just wants to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go home or do you want to go back to your apartment? You got to clarify.
Do you want to get out of Japan or
how serious is this? At their apartment, Karen gets in the shower.
This is another like iconic scene from the movie.
It is. It's kind of like
a shower scene.
Yeah.
Psycho. Are we going?
Yeah. Sorry. You guys can't see the hand gestures.
I got
of
it.
the knife
Yeah,
stabbing.
it was
You
helpful.
did. You
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So she gets in the shower, she starts washing her hair, and then we see like these dead hands come out of the
Ugh.
back of her head.
Yeah.
And then Karen freaks out, but she realizes that she just must be dreaming.
Yeah.
When you feel fingers coming out of the back of your head,
It was like a full-on hand. Like it was like a noticeable like. Ugh.
no.
That wasn't there this morning, girl. You know that's not legit.
That growth did not happen that quickly. Karen's boss is leaving work now, Alex, and
He's by himself again.
of course.
And he's in a dark office. No lights are on.
No.
And he's just by himself.
Yeah.
No buddy system. No lights. I can't.
Why don't
Scary
these
movies make me so mad.
Do you think we should write to some of these directors and say, at least give them a buddy? If you need to kill the buddy, that's fine.
Right. Give them a chance. Make us feel better about the situation.
Because you're just throwing them into the wolves.
Yes.
The wolves den.
And you're making us mad.
God damn it, you're making us mad. So mad. So he's walking down the stairs to leave for work. And then as he's passing, the little boy is like sitting in the staircase. And I think he feels like he's there. But when he turns around, he's not there.
Because we see him, and I was wondering if he thought he saw it too.
Yeah.
Because he took like a double take, and it was the corner's empty.
That was it.
And then as he's like turning on the landing to go down the stairs, the front door is wide the fuck open. And this zombie lady is just like making all the wet noises, just stomping through the lobby.
Well, she's leaking blood.
It's gross. And he's like, hello? Who you? What's going on? And then eventually he realizes it's Yoko.
Yeah.
He goes down the stairs and she walks past like the stairs. He's had to go down the stairs. And when he steps on the main floor, he slips.
On her blood.
Right. Because at first I thought it was water for some reason.
Yeah.
Because why would you think it's fucking blood? And he touches the floor and it's completely bloody.
Yeah.
And he stands up and he looks at her and he's like, Yoko, what happened to you?
This is a mess. Can you imagine cleaning this up?
No, it
Blech.
sounds awful. Poor custodial staff. So she slowly turns around and her head is like facing down, like her face is looking at the ground.
Uh-huh.
And she looks up at him and like opens what's left of her mouth and like lets out with this noise and like her whole bottom jaw is gone.
She got a big ass tongue.
Her tongue is just like a tie on her neck. It's just there. And he lets out with this yell too. And that's it. That's it.
We're done. I guess he's dead.
Yeah. I mean, it gets confirmed later, but I assumed maybe.
Yeah. Well,
it
we
wasn't
didn't
so
know right
good
now.
For him. I mean, but I guess maybe because he went to the house. Is that why he got attacked? I don't get it.
Maybe.
I don't, whatever.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. So Karen starts doing some research on this little Toshio boy.
On Yahoo. She wasn't Googling things.
Yahoo!
Oh, I liked it.
No.
What a throwback.
I know. She finds out that the original family that was in the house is where the father had killed his wife and son, Toshio. There's also an article about Peter who threw himself off the balcony.
Yep.
Now, when I was looking at this article, I was trying to figure out why they would have put his information on with this family killing. Is it just because it's, I mean, obviously it happened relatively close to
It was
each
like
other.
the day after each other. Yeah. But as far as anybody except for us is concerned, they're unrelated stories.
Right.
But it was like one story repeated by the whole Bill Pullman one. And it's like, it seems weird that they were on
Peter.
It seems weird that they were like on the same page somehow, as if it was like a continuation of the family massacre.
Right.
Yeah. It was weird.
It was weird.
I guess they made it convenient for us to just scroll through the page. I don't know.
They wanted it to be quick. They wanted this scene to be quick, so they just decided to do it one after another. So we now see that the investigator who is watching the surveillance of Susan's work cameras to kind of see what happened to her, he sees a security guard and the black mist that forms into the person. And then the shadow figure starts walking towards the camera. And he watches as it passes the camera, and then all of a sudden the black mist fills the camera screen, and then you see 2 eyeballs pop out.
Just staring at him.
And that wasn't real scary to me.
I didn't think so either.
Did you jump at that point?
I did not.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah, the eyes were...
I would have judged you hard.
If they were like the real eyes that the girl had, that would have been far creepier than this weird like glowing
it was weird.
like, white lights it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little creepy looking.
I think he feels like there's somebody with him because he keeps kind of looking
by
around
himself again.
Of course he is. Because apparently... all these scenes are done at night.
Nobody works with partners.
No.
They all work as individuals, and they all stay well past the actual working hours of the building.
That's true.
I can't stand it.
Okay, now we're at Karen's apartment. We see her writing a note to Doug that says that she had to go out and then she'll be back soon.
Yeah, she's on a mission.
She's on a mission. She goes to the place where Peter was found after he had committed suicide. She goes up to the apartment and asks to speak with Peter's wife, Maria. Like, I don't know how long this has been.
It seems like it has to be close to each other
quick.
because it's probably within a couple of days because they were up in the attic and I guess that had just happened and he died like a day after the family died,
my thing. She was like, okay, if my husband died 2 days prior to when somebody is going to come in and ask me about him.
Yeah.
What?
Well, actually, that doesn't make sense because the assistant guy said that something happened in the house 3 years ago, right? So then the house had to have been haunted for 3 years, but then, so does that mean Bill Pullman died 3 years ago? He would have had to because he died the day after the wife died.
Right.
So then I guess the family like just moved into this house recently, and I guess it's the first people to live there since the massacre. So her stuff is all happening like between the like Matthew and Jennifer dying and then Alex, all the people that she's with closely, that's all happening within a couple of days of each other, very recent to her time.
Okay.
But I guess Bill Pullman and
Maria
and the wife and the little boy, the whole massacre in the house, that had to happen 3 years ago. Yeah. So I guess there's a 3-year gap. I don't know.
Okay, I think you're right. No, it's a 3-year gap.
So she's coming, which I feel like is very intrusive. And she's like, hey, you don't know me, but I want to ask about your dead husband. That's a little intrusive.
She buzzes her in.
Yeah, she's like, okay, come on up, let's chat. So I guess she's like, she has this like shoebox full of like pictures that she shows her. So I guess it has to have been 3 years since it happened.
It had to have been, yeah.
Ugh, we got there eventually.
Oh my God. Sorry, everybody. We had to work through that one. So as she's going through these pictures of Peter and Maria, which she allowed her to just sit there and go through all these pictures, which
she's
is
like
weird.
Walked away.
It's weird. I don't know. She notices, Karen notices that Kyoko, the lady who died that is haunting everybody, is in the background of all of these pictures.
Stalking him.
Oh my God.
She is like
hardcore.
Staring at him. She is like hardcore stalking him because every picture that he has as like him and his wife are exploring Japan, she is there in the background watching.
How creepy as shit
She's
is that?
Obsessed.
A little bit. Flashback to Peter before he died. We are at the school that he works at, and apparently it has been keeping letters from this woman that he keeps getting them from that was in his class.
Yeah. So like one of his
Named Kyoko.
coworkers, like hands him something he got in the mail from a student. And I honestly felt like he was just kind of like, I don't know what the hell this is about. Because that's kind of how he played it with the coworker.
Yeah.
It didn't really seem to me like they were having an affair. It seemed very much like, I don't know why she keeps sending me this stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like she keeps sending him love notes because he had like a pile in his locker of all this stuff from her. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on, but okay. And then just like put it in there.
I don't know.
But what's weird about it, there's an address on the envelopes. So he's like, I guess I'll just go to the address, which is that haunted house. But he's like, I guess I'll just go to the address.
But why would you do that? You know nothing. Okay, you don't know anything about these people.
Right.
Okay.
I guess she's a student of his or something, and she's obsessed with him.
Okay, but what about her husband? What about her kid? Okay, whatever. Okay. So obviously he ends up going. There's no answer at the door when he does go.
Classic.
So he goes around to the back because why not leave?
Right.
Okay. He sees the hands of this little boy that's like hanging out through the window.
Yeah.
Which is kind of creepy.
It's weird as shit.
He just decides to go in and finds this boy Tashio because Tashio had like fallen into the tub, but he looks real beat up. Like it was in the state that he had died, obviously. So
and he was in the same condition that when Sarah Michelle Gellar first saw him in the closet, he looks exactly the same.
Correct.
Bruised up knees, cuts all over his face. Yeah, he looks rough.
So the house is a wreck. So we can see that, the house is pretty distressed.
Uh-huh.
So my question is, why isn't he calling for help at this point? Like, the boy is by himself.
Right.
He looks really beat up.
Really bad. And the house is seemingly empty. And he's just asking him, like, are you here alone? Are your parents here? He's just asking him questions. And the boy's not responding to him. And he's not saying anything. He's not calling anybody.
He's
just
police.
Hanging out with this little boy.
I just don't understand. In a house that you do not know. Or do you know it?
And you're getting these weird letters from someone who lives in this house.
I don't know.
All of it's sketchy as shit.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yes.
So he finds a ripped up picture on the ground and he starts putting it together like a puzzle.
Yep.
Then he hears a cat. So as Peter is looking out the window, this little boy behind him who's sitting on the couch opens his mouth in that round
black hole
and meows out of that hole.
I don't know what that's about.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. So now we're with Karen.
Uh-huh.
Karen goes to see the investigator that she says she needs to talk to him.
Yeah, and he's just like awkwardly on the roof of the building.
He's just hanging out.
What was that about?
Hey, that's where he decompresses.
The
Don't touch him.
assistant's like, I'll take you to where he's at. Here, he's on the roof. That's weird.
And it's not even like a nice roof where you'd hang out. It's got like that gravel on the top.
Yes. It looks hot. Ugh.
Okay. So she tells him that she thinks that Peter knew Kayako and committed suicide the day after that she had died.
Mm-hmm.
The investigator said that he didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we know that.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes on to tell her about what happened 3 years ago and what happened to his detectives that were actually working on that case.
Mm-hmm.
And that memory of what happens will repeat itself. So he was just kind of explaining to her that it's going to continue.
Yeah, 2 of his colleagues who were looking at the case, there was 3 of them.
Yes.
2 of them died and 1 of them just disappeared. And they have no idea, but he thinks it's because of the house is why they died.
Of course it is.
They have been investigating the murders at that house.
Are you saying the detectives died because of that house?
He says once you become part of it, it will never let you go.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a reason why this house has not been demolished? Like, can you not put a petition up with the county that says, hey,
Knock it down.
knock that shit down?
And then shame on that realtor for selling it to that family.
I know.
Shame on him.
He probably died too. It's fine. He probably got what's coming to him. As this investigator reminisces about his friends, he's sitting at his desk. He pulls out some pictures of his friends and them having some good times, some drinks or whatever. He comes up with a plan. He brings 2 big jugs of gasoline and plans on torching the place.
Yes. But the problem I have with this is that he goes inside the fucking house. If you're going to torch it, just put the gas outside the house and light it because that's going to affect the inside. You don't have to go in.
That's true. But maybe he knows that he's probably going to die anyways. I don't know.
Is it worth it? No. No, it's not. Just light it up outside.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Throw that shit through the window.
Yes.
Do the what are the bomb things called? Where the
Oh, yeah. I know it. That's to my tongue.
what is it?
I'm going to think of it.
Google it.
In a minute, I'm going to be like, just shout it out. What do I Google? Weird gas bombs? The government's going to come after me now. What do I Google? What is it called?
Gas bombs. I know what they're called.
I know. It's at the tip of my tongue. Okay, let's keep going because it's going to pop in my head and I'm going to shout it in a minute. I know it. Molotov cocktail.
Yes!
That's it. Cool.
Sounds like a drink. That's why I liked it. Okay.
Glad we got there.
Okay.
Yes, he could have just as easily made a Molotov cocktail, thrown it through the windows of the house, and did the exact same thing without having to go inside the house.
I agree. Okay. Okay. Moving on. It's fine.
Also, he goes inside the house, and before he can even pour any gas on the floor, he hears a kid crying.
Of course he does.
And I'm thinking, one,
You
I
know
can't.
this.
And 2, you know the house is full of trickery. Why
Yes.
are you falling for it? Why? I can't. He hears crying. He's like, oh, fuck the original plan. I guess I'll go check it out. You know nobody lives there. You
Right.
know there's caution tape all around the property. Nobody is there,
No.
dude. You know that.
Just torch it.
No. He goes into the bathroom and he sees a little boy like face first in this tub full of black water again.
Yep.
And his kid's like splashing around crying. And he like takes the kid out of the tub and he's like trying to like get him to respond to him. He's holding him. And then all of a sudden, the little boy like opens his eyes and we see this man standing in the bathroom behind the detective who grabs the detective, puts him face first in the water.
Okay. He's dead.
He did.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I can't. I can't.
All right. Well, we're back with Karen again. Karen gets home. She calls for Doug that's supposed to be in the apartment.
Right.
She puts her bag down, looks around the room, and gets a little freaked out.
Yeah.
She checks the messages, and Doug has left messages on their voicemail for her.
Yep.
He didn't know where she was all day and let her know that Yoko and her boss were dead.
Yep.
Okay, so he's going to go find her.
Yeah, he saw all of her research on the house, and he's going to go check to see if she's at the house. So she freaks out and runs to this home, which I'm thinking, if you had to walk really far, take a bus, and then walk through a small town, then walk up a hill to get there the first time, where are you running, girl?
I don't know.
She gets there pretty quick.
She does get there pretty quick. So by the time she gets there, he is already in the house. She calls for him and he calls for her or says that he's upstairs.
Yeah.
So, but she can't see him. And then he starts talking like real softly, which I found, which was kind of freaky to me.
Yeah.
And
It's like he was on the phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was whispering to somebody.
Yep.
And then he goes, no. He's like, yells no. And I'm like, no, what? What? No, what?
Yeah.
So she ends up climbing the stairs and there's this like bright light when she gets to the top and it like birds are chirping. And then she sees Peter standing there.
Yep.
The guy that threw himself off the thing. And he's talking to his wife on the phone saying that he's going to be home soon.
Yep.
And she's like watching this whole scene unravel, but she's not a part of it.
Yeah.
Like it's two separate scenes.
She's in this
happening.
weird like time loop thing,
Yeah.
watching what happened in this house before she got to the house.
I don't
Very
know.
strange.
It's very strange. So she watches as he goes into Tashio's room and he's like coloring. Peter asks if his mom is going to be late. And Tashio looks directly at Karen, which I thought looks directly at Karen.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
Because he looked right up and stared at her at the top of the stairs. It was creepy as shit.
Which catches her off guard.
Uh-huh.
And now Peter looks like he's looking at her, but I don't think he is. I think
No,
he's looking past
It's
her.
just a trip, like a mind trip. Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes back into the hall from Tashio's room, closes the door, walks down to the hall to another room, which looks like an art studio.
Yep.
He finds a family picture where Kyoko's face was cut out. Like there's a ton of them. It finds a journal that's underneath them. And he looks inside and finds that Kyoko was writing about her love for Peter.
She was like in this journal, every page of the journal.
Yes, his name was all over the place.
And it's like everything on the pages was written in Japanese except for his name. And it was saying how she's like in love with him and his name was written everywhere. There was a picture of him. Like one of the pictures he took of him and his wife when Sarah Michelle Gellar was looking through the pictures at his apartment with his wife. She has one of those pictures but ripped it in half so only he was in the picture. She had that like stuffed in the journal too. All these drawings of herself with him and like hearts. It was crazy.
It was obscene.
Crazy.
It was a lot.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So he walks over to the closet.
Yeah.
Where Kyoko's face that had been cut out of all of these pictures were pinned to the front of this door.
With like blood. Too.
Blood. And there were flies. And as he opens the closet door, there's more flies. And then Kyoko's dead body falls from the attic. He goes into the boy's bedroom again and panics, runs out of the house because he hears like this thudding noise.
Yep.
That's like going like against the wall or
Yep.
something. We couldn't
Some
see
kind
it
of
at
a
that point.
banging noise. Yep.
So as he runs out of the house, Karen goes in the room to kind of see what's going on. And she sees that the husband, that the original owner of this house, was hung and was hitting against
Just
the wall.
swinging from the
swinging.
ceiling.
How was he swinging?
I don't know.
What was moving him?
Uh-huh.
When we flash back to what happened to the family.
Yeah, they show like a bunch of clips, like a little montage of like clips quickly
Yes.
about what happened.
And basically the husband finds this wife's journal
The
about
crazy
Peter,
journal. Uh-huh.
loses it. He kills the cat, his wife, and his son.
Yeah, he drowned the little boy and the cat in the tub and then killed the wife.
Yes.
Maybe that's why the boy like meows so much because they both drowned in the tub.
Maybe. That's really
I don't know.
far-fetched, but okay.
I have a fun fact about this little montage
What?
thing. Do you want to hear it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
So apparently in like the original, I don't know if it's the original script or if this is like a remake, but apparently in the original for this movie, the whole thing was that the husband kills the wife with like a box cutter, like stabs her, kills her.
Okay.
Because when she falls out of the attic, she's covered in plastic and she's got blood on her, right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So, which I thought was weird, but I didn't really think anything of. I was like, I don't know, he killed her, so I don't know. But apparently they were trying to keep this movie for the US PG-13 rated, and they couldn't keep it PG-13 with that type of like graphics in it.
Okay.
So they had to take out the part of him like violently killing her to just kind of like clips of like what he did and then just kind of imply that she got bludgeoned
So
somehow.
in Japan, they see the box cutter scene?
I assume so.
Ooh.
In the US, they didn't show it.
No, they did
Because
not.
they didn't want to make it R-rated, I guess. Isn't that interesting?
Is it not R-rated?
It's PG-13.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I knew that.
But it's not, nothing is like graphic in the
Right.
movie. There's no gore. This is not a gory movie at all.
Right.
So I guess I can see how it would be PG-13. But yeah, they didn't want it to be R-rated. So they didn't show the box cutter scene.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
So
you.
it's just implied.
Look at you and your fun facts.
Right?
Well, Karen ends up backing out of the room. She goes downstairs.
Uh-huh.
And then when she looks in the mirror that's at the bottom of the stairs.
Because now it's dark again. Now we're back in her time.
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Yes. The birds have flown their coop.
They got
gone.
the fuck up out of there.
It's now dark again.
Uh-huh.
So when she looks in this mirror that's at the, like on the first floor in like the foyer area, Doug grabs her ankle.
Yeah, he does.
Coming down the stairs, Kyoko is like crawling down on her hands and feet.
It's like that bony breaking
and the
limbs.
jerky movements.
She's creepy looking.
I know. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Karen tries to get him out the front door, but Kyoko's like right there.
Yep.
Climbs on top of him. Doug ends up dying somehow.
She doesn't do anything.
I don't know how he died.
So Kyoko is like climbing on Doug now, and Sarah Michelle Gellar like, and she like falls because she's trying to drag him out the front door. And now
Right.
she's in the foyer by the front door, just watching this like weird zombie lady like attacking her boyfriend, and she doesn't do anything. I'm like, you don't even kick her in the face or nothing?
No.
Wouldn't you like attack this person? At least
Yes.
kick him or something?
Something.
She didn't do anything. She just sat there just watching the whole thing happen, and then she tries to leave. She opens the front door like, sorry, Doug, I gots to go. And then opens the front door, and then Kyoko is there too. Her face is like right up in her shit.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I guess I'm stuck in this house too. I'm like, you don't even try to save your boyfriend. You just like try to go?
Are you okay?
No. Selfish.
She kind of is.
Right?
Okay.
He went there to find her because he was being a very nice boyfriend. And she's like, sorry, dude, you're on your own.
You're out of luck.
I
gotta save myself here. So she ends up setting the house on fire. She dumps over the gas cans, gets her lighter, starts the fire. And then the next scene at the coroner's office, there's like this very disheveled Karen. She goes to see Doug.
Had a rough night.
She has had a rough night. Rough couple days, I think. We find out that they were able to save the house. So it didn't get burned down.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, burn that shit down.
Does nobody know the history in this house?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of flashes back between it's Kyoko and it's the body of Doug. So like her arms fly. I don't
because
know.
we see that there is like a table with a white sheet over it.
Right.
And they say that the man is dead under there. He's a white Caucasian man in his mid-20s and he's dead. He died in the fire. So we're like, okay, well, it's Doug. That's unfortunate.
Of course.
So they let Sarah Michelle Gellar go in there to like, I guess, see her boyfriend or confirm it's him. I don't know, whatever. So they leave her in there by herself.
Of course they do.
And that's when like the whole table thing starts getting weird because all of a sudden she's like getting upset, of course, and crying because it's her boyfriend. And then the table jerks and moves, the body moves, an arm falls out from underneath the sheet and it's not Doug's arm. It's like that weird white, gray, dead looking
Kyoko.
arm. Yeah. And there was a person who worked there at the morgue office who had this like really long, crazy black hair. This woman, she kind of like hung out in the corner, taking notes on this clipboard. All of a sudden, because we see her in the corner at one point too, we're like, I don't like her. She's sketchy as shit. And then once Sarah Michelle Gellar sees the arm move, we pan out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And now the creepy Kyoko girl is standing behind Sarah Michelle Gellar. And we hear the crazy mouthy noise again. We see her eyeball, and that's it.
That's it.
So I guess she's dead too.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
And I'm assuming the detective is dead too?
Oh, I'm sure everybody that's in that house is dead. They have to be. Well, he didn't die the first time he was there.
Right. Was that the first time he was there, though? That may have been the first time he was there when he got called for her case.
Oh, maybe. Maybe it was his buddies that were doing the
That's what
the
I think
original
happened
one.
because the three of his colleagues originally.
Oh, I'm sure he's dead.
So basically anything that steps foot into this house dies?
Yes.
Misdirected. Very misdirected.
Don't be so angry, ghost people.
I just feel like, okay, these people who are moving into your house had nothing to do with what your crazy husband did to you and your son, right?
That's true.
So are you just trying to like stay in your house and not have anybody live in it? Still not okay.
They're just curmudgeons. at this point.
Yeah.
They're just not.
They're just
happy.
angry zombies.
Well, it said at the beginning of the movie that once you like are in this evil presence, what did it say?
And I also feel like this little boy, he is a little crafty. 'Cause I feel like he's doing a lot of the dirty work for his mom because he is like luring these people upstairs. He's luring them toward the closet. He's like pretending he's like a real boy, like a little like, I don't know, luring them in. They're like, oh no, are you okay? And then he's like, eyes open, you're going to die. Like he's trapping these people so his mom and his dad can like kill these people.
Yeah. And meowing at them.
Yes.
Why are
And
you
it's not
meowing?
even a cute meow.
No.
He's like a weird, creepy meow.
It's an angry meow.
Yeah. I don't like it. So, movie was fine.
That was it. That's fine.
I have a couple more fun facts if you want.
Of course.
Okay. So, the other one I saw was that before they filmed the movie, the whole cast and crew went through a ceremony where they went this whole like blessing process so nothing bad would happen during filming.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
I mean, all precautions. I'm down with that.
Yeah, especially if you're a culture that has these serious spiritual superstitions.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I can see that
Absolutely.
completely happening. Apparently the snapping and popping like mouth noises were made from a hair comb. And I'm not really sure how.
Oh, I know exactly.
They pulled across it?
Yeah, running your finger or something across the bristles. I bet you.
Interesting.
You know what? I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna make those noises. I'm gonna see if I can do that.
Will you record it for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course I will.
So the mouthy noise that she's making, so even though we didn't see her like dying,
Yeah.
apparently the reason why she makes that mouthy noise is because when they show her being attacked, her like neck breaks and it like breaks her windpipe. So that sound is her trying to breathe. So that's why when she's attacking, she's making that broken bones kind of movement going down the stairs every time she's attacking, is because she got really her ass kicked really terribly by her husband and her windpipe was broken.
Interesting.
So that's that noise.
That's not necessarily a fun fact.
No, but like when you watch the movie, you're like, that is a weird noise that she would make.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense, but I'm glad they didn't have that stuff in the movie. It's just unnecessary.
It is unnecessary.
We just need to know that they didn't make it and he's the reason why and then killed himself later. We don't need to see what he did.
Yeah.
So I support that decision.
He got a little mad.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say a little bit, he really did.
I think the entire house just doesn't know how to channel their feelings and they all have misdirected anger.
They really did.
Mhm.
Maybe they should just talk to somebody.
They should all get therapy. We need to normalize therapy because that family really needed it.
I wonder if there are any mediums out there that do therapy with ghosts or spirits that are having a hard time.
Oh, interesting. Like not for the family, but for the actual like people who have passed.
Correct.
That's fun.
I wonder if that's a thing.
I mean, if there's like a spirit that's like being a dick and not passing on and causing all this havoc, get the fuck out. Then maybe.
It's like, dude, we
It's like,
love you.
We get it.
We appreciate you, but you need to get on. Like, this is not the place for you.
This is too much. Do you see how this is a problem?
Do you see how this is affecting other people negatively? Do you see this? Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
So, what are we watching next week?
We are watching next week. Next week is our 50th episode.
How is that even freaking possible?
5-0.
5-0.
And we are watching The Sixth Sense.
Whoa.
Would you like to hear the IMDb synopsis for it?
Of course.
It's underplayed a little bit, I think, but a boy who communicates with spirits seeks the help of a disheartened child psychologist.
That's it?
That's it. That's all IMDb got. It seems they're really underplaying it, I think.
Okay, I haven't watched this movie since it came out in 1999.
I can't believe it was 99.
So it's going. I mean, I know how the end ends,
Right.
but I don't
There's
really.
still going to be a lot that
there,
freaks you out.
there is.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about
It's
it.
going to be exciting. It's going to be our 50th episode. It's going to be a good movie that we're watching.
50 episodes.
I can't believe it.
It's so awesome.
It feels like just yesterday.
Does it? This just feels like home.
I know.
Now.
I know. We're finally getting more comfortable with it. We got our office up the way we want it now.
Yeah.
We got things going.
Yeah.
We're getting into the swing of it.
We're doing it.
Mm-hmm. It's exciting.
Doing it well.
Okay, guys, remember tipsypod.com. Check out all of our social media on there. Follow us on everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Rate, review, subscribe. 5 stars.
Oh, yeah. Get on there and review. That'd be great.
5 stars. It helps people find our show. We want everyone to find our show.
Heck yeah.
And also Patreon. If you want to join our Patreon, you can listen to us talk about The Sixth Sense a day before everybody else does. So get on there.
I think that is a privilege.
Hell yeah.
You can go tell all your friends and say, you know what? I get to listen to a podcast episode a day early.
Exclusive.
Take that shit.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye. She sits. Okay, she opens the door, and then she sits up at the door while she is like, God damn it! I didn't take very good notes. Can we start over?
Yes.
Okay. So she ends up just going in and sees. Okay. She gets. Okay. It was. What was her name?
I don't remember. I have it in my notes somewhere.
Yakam.
It's the mouthy ghost.
Yakimo?
The mouthy noise ghost.
The mouthy. But I feel like you said a creaky. Was it mouthy?
I have
Mouthy
my
noise.
notes. Mouth noise.
I think it was
But
mouthy
mouthy
noise. I think it was mouthy noise. I think that's my favorite. As he's like,
The landing.
why can't I think of that word?
I'm not sure.
The fucking landing. Peter knew Kayako.
You know the accident up there?
Yeah.
A lady. She broke her neck.
Oh my God, where is she?
Standing next to my window.
You have a secret, but you don't want to tell me.
I see dead people walking around like regular people.
I don't see anything. Are you sure they're there?
They're everywhere. They want me to do things for them.
I think that they know that you're one of these very rare people who can see them, so you need to help them.
What if they don't want to help?
I don't think that's the way it works.
How do you know for sure?
Not every gift. Is anyone there? Is a blessing. The Sixth Sense.
Please make